Semper Fi, good afternoon, Marines. Today's a special day for our Colonial Marine Corps game. Several of our players are actually at an event called Ockfest, hanging out together. And one of our players, I think Sergeant Stratford just said literally he was too cool for you, Finnigan. That was his words exactly. So, we still have the best of the best of the best with us, which is fantastic. Today I have PFC Finnigan, played by Alpha Wolf Zero. Good afternoon, Finnigan.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're at.
And also with us is Forloth, playing PFC Zapp. How are you doing, sir?
Sup? Haikus are easy, but sometimes they don't make sense. Refrigerator.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best of the best of the best.
I'm going to use that as my next icebreaker for a conversation starter.
It's perfect. And so, when we last left off with our Marines, they had arrived in the town of Fakir, present on the planet of Green Fields. Green Fields is a planet that is mostly an agri-world where crops are being gathered for colonial pushes out into the frontier. A company owned, technically not a company owned, it's actually owned by Three World Empire, but a company backed planet. There was an unfortunate incident where 3 colony ships representing Seegson attempted to land on the planet and were denied through court battles. They were actually given some land here and split off into 3 different cities: Nolosha, Fakir, and Zabsi. And unfortunately, things have not been good for these cities. There is a high tension here with uprisings just on the fringe. This entire planet could just blow up in one, not literally, but it could blow up in a frenzy of rebellion and throw Three World Empire out as well as the company. And so the Marines were sent here to crush that rebellion. And last time, the Marines were on a little bit of liberty, a little bit of R&R for you Army folks, and things did not go well. They were attacked while they were in a bar, and on a lighter note, though, PFC Finnigan received a note to go and speak to the leader of the city of Fakir. And so the Marines headed out. There was an incident where they kind of stared at a vehicle going by from their APC and nothing happened. And when they arrived, a man by the name of Morgan Lane came and tried to intercept them. He is the leader of the security forces for Fakir, which is interesting because if you remember, Nolosha did not have any type of security. They relied on the Three World Empire and the company to provide that. And so Stratford had kind of guided back this Morgan Lane to the APC to speak with him. As he does so, he looks to Finnigan and Zapp, and he kind of gives Finnigan one of these and says, "Go, Zapp, go with him." And so the rest of the Marines are kind of starting to set up position while Stratford speaks to Alpha Wolf Zero. Anybody know this guy? His name's Alpha Wolf Zero. Anybody know that guy?
I heard he was a real beta.
I bet you he's a fucking handsome man. I guarantee it. Thank you for the sub, sir, and thank you, Nikita, for the sub.
What, are you made of money?
He's made of Prime. You should be Alpha Wolf Prime. And thanks, Nikita, for the sub earlier, where we were on our start screen. So, Stratford is talking to Morgan in the APC. I turned it over to Finnigan and Zapp, who are kind of giving motions to go ahead and go into the central building where you believe that the mayor of the city would be residing. I also have heard that birds nest in his beard.
The mayor's.
To you, my friends, as you will.
Finnigan, take the lead. I'm right behind you.
Alright, so I'm gonna... I'm already gonna be walking into the house where this mayor's at. Since we got that other guy distracted.
Wait, was the door open? I mean, we just let ourselves in?
Well, remember, the atmosphere of this place is definitely not conducive to breathing, right? It's too high in a lot of these trace elements, so you have to wear these masks. So the door would not be open. But if you go and kind of pull on it, you can go in, definitely. There's always these little airlock kind of areas inside. So, yes, you're more than welcome to go in. Are you both going in?
Are we going in hot? Or are we're trying to stay cool? We're trying to de-escalate.
I'm keeping my hand on my 357. But other than that, I'm not like showing any weapons, but I've got it kind of like, police style, like they're like walking through, just making sure that nothing's dangerous is up ahead.
Zapp, how are you going in?
I got my pulse rifle. I got it on my shoulder.
Okay.
Just
and
like
so, as you both walk in, two men standing by the door, wearing what appears to be, if it could be considered flak armor, it looks like it was hand sewn and it was just thrown on over it, and it looks like they have antique pistols that could be like Glock or Remington or Ruger make. Like these are old pistols at their hips. And they kind of reach for their guns. They don't draw them. They're like, "Stop! Who are you?"
It's okay. We're here for a meeting with the mayor.
You have to speak to Mr. Lane.
Mr. Lane ain't in charge. The mayor is. Mr. Lane wants to say he's in charge, but he ain't in charge.
We just talked to Lane. He said it was cool. He's talking to our Sarge. He said to go ahead, talk to the mayor. He had some things to cover with the Sarge outside. If you want to go join him, he's just right outside.
And so the one guy looks to the other one, and they kind of like, they look really, like, kind of out of whack. And one of them kind of jerks his head, and the other one leaves, and the other one stands up and takes his hands off his pistol. He's like, "We had heard there was Colonial Marines here. Why are you here?"
I sling the pulse rifle at this point, just put my hands in a pacifying, palms up kind of fashion.
But why,
we're just here. We're just sorry. He wanted to talk to Finnigan. I'm just his wingman.
But why are you on planet?
Oh, that's it. So you're going for the deep questions. Wow,
yes.
Well, it goes way back. I was a young child at the time. No, I'm messing with you. It's we're here to help. Come to assist.
And so you could just see this crestfallen face just strike him hard, like. And he says, he just shakes his head and he says, "But where will we go?"
That remains to be seen. That's what we're trying to figure out, buddy. Just let us talk to the mayor. It's all good. You come with us. You're more than welcome to join us.
You probably are not going to have an easy time talking to the mayor. She is very sick.
Well, she sent the note. We'll be quick. We'll keep it low key. Low stress. Come along with us. Make sure that we don't overstep any boundaries.
And so the one guy comes running back inside, and he just kind of goes, like, I don't know where Lane went. Like, he's just knocked on the door and nobody answered. So the guy's like, "I'm not gonna argue with Marines." He's like, "Come with me." And so he walks you back, and they open up a door, and inside you can see there's a woman on a bed, and she's dark. She has a dark complexion, but it's very ashen. And she's laying on this bed, and she has a ventilator over her mouth. There's a younger woman that looks like she could very well be her daughter, or at least some type of relation, sitting next to her. The odd thing in this room is there's another humanoid standing there, but it's not human. It's very obviously not human because of the plastic bluish colored skin. It looks like a Halloween mask, basically, but it's a blue translucent color with these glowing eyes, and it's just kind of standing there next to the bed.
So, are we talking like this is its skin, or this is some sort of face covering?
You ever seen a working Joe before? I know Finnigan has. I've seen him hiding in a locker running from them. Working Joes are androids created by the Seekson Company. They're not made to be human, like blend in with humanity. They are meant to be very functional, very cheap, and their skin is just this bluish like color to it.
Gotcha.
And so the woman in the chair turns and looks at you, and she looks at the guard, and she rattles off in this language that you don't recognize, but it sounds very heated, like very angry. And the guy kind of like puts his hands up and he points to you, and he blathers something back, and she spits back at him something, and he just kind of like backs out of the room. And so the woman stands up, and she kind of, pushes down her dress and like straightens herself up, and she says,
"What can I do for members of the Colonial Marine Corps?"
My comrade here,
Well.
Finnigan. Take the lead, Finnigan. It's all you, baby.
Well, we received a message that said we needed to come speak to you from someone that was originally from Fakir that now works in a bar in the compound.
Ah, I know the woman that you speak of. We were one of the, my mother was the final line that got her the job there in the nest.
So, we came to you to figure out what is going on with these warlords, and what we can do to help stop progress, the things that they're doing. We want to bring peace to your planet.
she kind of smiles this very weak kind of sad smile. Sorry, one second. And she just shakes her head, and she's like,
There is no chance for peace here. If you want to bring peace to this place, you want to pacify the warlords, then you should leave. I'm sure you know that there is a price on your head that could feed families for a year or more, yes?
Yeah, we were made aware of that, but we...
Finnigan, you sound so different today.
I know. I can't even get in character right now.
Remember, park the car in the Harvard yard.
I'm just trying to remember everything that we did the last few sessions.
If you need a recap, please feel free to ask. I'll do my best.
I think I've got a general idea, but I'm gonna tell her, look, I know how it is to struggle and to live in under these types of conditions, and
she cuts you off right there with this burst of just laughter, right? Just this harsh laughter.
You know what it's like to have to fight for every scrap of food? You know what it's like to have to repair constantly with tape and prayers just to be able to breathe? You know what it's like to have men and women of power strike down upon you, and that's not even the warlords. That's your friends in the nest. It is your friends who are bringing all of this down upon us, and why my mother is sick here, and why so many people are dying for no reason.
Oh, so this isn't even the mayor that we're talking to.
No, it is not. It has
okay.
names.
Dang. Here I was thinking the whole entire time.
And so she kind of straightens herself up just a touch and brushes her shoulder over, and you can see her trying to get a control of herself. And she says, she puts up a hand, and she says,
I apologize. Perhaps we were starting on the wrong foot. Perhaps names are in order. My name is Aziza Falani. This is my mother. Uh-oh. There it is. Zaire Falani. She is the mayor for as long as she draws breath. And you two?
I'm Joseph Finnigan, private with the Marine Corps.
I see.
I'm Zapp, Private Zapp. Hey, look, someone here in this office, pretending to be, or acting in the interest of your mother, or perhaps your mother herself before she fell ill, reached out to Finnigan, to my comrade here. We're not here to cause you any unnecessary distress. We may not understand your hardship, but as you said yourself, as you so clearly stated, there's a price on our head. So it would be in our best interest to leave as well. But we're not doing that because we have a sense of duty, we have a sense of obligation. We know it's our job to try to help where we can, and that's why we're here. So if you got something for us, if there's somebody in this room that wanted to talk to us, now's the time to do it. Otherwise, we got better things to do, we got places to be, and obviously you have your mother to worry about.
I do not think anyone here sent you this message. Did you not say, your PFC Finnigan, did he not say that he received the message from the bartender? I completely forgot her name, and I can't find where I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Did you not say that she is the one that sent you this message?
Yeah, that's who we believe sent us this message.
Wait. Let me clarify this. So the barmaid, no offense, she said that we should go talk to the mayor. It wasn't a case of the mayor would like to talk to us. I didn't see the message, Finnigan.
Abigail. Abigail was her name.
Oh. Yeah, they said that you're like, what was it? If we want answers, we need to go talk to the mayor or something like that.
And so, while you're talking, this woman, she's kind of crossing her arms, and she's just shaking her head, and you see this almost skeletal, thin finger getting to a point of translucency that is so ashen hand reach up and grab this woman's arm. And she looks down and she kind of puts her hand on the arm, and the working Joe kind of walks forward and helps the woman sit up, kind of adjust the bed. And she is breathing hard, like, and she takes off the respirator and everything.
Abigail is an excellent judge of character. Why? What do you want?
We want to help. We want to figure out who these people are, not only the warlords, but the people in the nest, and bring everything down that's been causing you all problems.
Young man, there are two ways that all of this plays out. First is that Three World Empire gets their wish and we all die. The other way is for the warlords to kill all of you, which will bring more Marines, which will then help, which will then bring to light all of the things that the company and Three World Empire have done here. That is their goal. That is why there's a price on your head, young man. You have to die so that others will come.
Whoa, heavy. In the most respectful way. Finnigan?
Finnegan's honestly just sitting there, standing there with his hands, like, fiddling with his hands, and is just in disbelief and,
Hey, look, this isn't the first time the Marines have been used as pawns. We're used to it. We're used to it. So, is there anything else you got for us?
What more can you want?
The standing woman, she's like,
What did you expect to come here? Did you expect us to say, oh yes, the Kaifo, his name is actually Bob, and Vita is actually Sally, and Naha is actually just... Do you know what these words mean in our language?
Well, if you could clarify that, if you had that information, that'd be useful. If you don't, then we don't want to waste any more of your time.
You... I see why the warlords chose you to kill, because you're not looking beneath the surface of what's going on. Kaifo, in our language, means death. Vita, in our language, means war. And Naha means famine. Do these names not ring a bell to you at all?
so then where's the fourth horseman of the apocalypse?
Well spotted.
And that's what I say.
It is your company. Your company, the company whose gear you so proudly wear, who pays your paychecks, who supports you in all that you do, in everyone that you step on, in every neck that you put your boot on. That is the fourth and the worst of the four horsemen.
Pestilence.
Come on, Finnigan, we're wasting our time.
So I take my hat off and I kind of bow respectfully to the mayor. I don't even look at the daughter because I couldn't stand her. But I bow to the mayor because she was actually peaceable with me. And I say thank you for your time. We have a lot to think about and a lot to cover. I just stand back up and I put my hat back on or my helmet back on, and then I look at Zapp and I'm like, shrug my shoulders and just like start walking towards the front door.
Do we have like a frequency we can be reached at? JW?
well, I mean, they can contact you as need be. You don't have business cards or anything. It's like, hey, if you've got any questions.
They could reach us through Abigail, right?
Yes.
Look, if you can think of anything that's helpful, that we could use to maybe bust up this this hold they have on your community, anything at all, just send it to us through Abigail. She'll get it to us.
And so then the woman just kind of like shrugs her shoulders and says, "You're best just to leave."
We'll take that.
And then as soon as she says that, I turn around and say, "Oh, and another thing, get Major Jackass Lane out here under control, because he's not going to. If you want the right people in power, he's not somebody that's going to be good in power. I'm just telling you." And I walk away.
Wait, 1 minute. PFC.
Yeah.
So she walks towards you, and she says,
he is part of the problem. That man is trying to kill my mother. I guarantee it. He's trying to take over this place, and I would bet on my life that he serves at least one of the warlords.
Well, now we're getting somewhere. That's the definition of useful information right there. Do you have any proof to back that up?
If I had proof, PFC, we would already have arrested him and disposed of him. There's talk, there's rumor, and there's a feeling. I trust my instinct.
Duly noted. We'll take that under advisement. Thank you, ma'am.
and so are you leaving out of the room?
I back out of the room.
Just slowly backing out of the room. As you back out of the room, Zapp, you notice that Working Joe is watching all of you go, and the minute that you're past the threshold, it's walking around towards you.
We wait in the hallway.
I turn around and I look at the Working Joe and I'm like, Working Joe, what are you doing?
It's a fucking Alpha Wolf Zero's having flashbacks.
Honestly, you have a trauma to work through. I apologize, Kyle.
It approaches you and it says,
Gentlemen, I understand that you do not serve the Seeks Incorporation, but I believe it in my best interest and the interest of my mistress to pass information on to you.
What information you got, Working Joe?
Most of the Working Joes here have already broken down. My circuits and my algorithms apparently were better suited for medical and indoor work, so I have been taking care of Zaire. Her illness is not natural.
What is not natural? Her disease, her sickness?
I have over 10,000 different types of illnesses that would be common in these types of frontier areas, and none of them appear to be her symptoms. None of the treatments that I have administered have aided her in getting recovery. I have seen this in several individuals in this town before, and all of them appear to be people in different types of the positions of power.
Any suspected cause?
Unfortunately, I am not programmed to look any deeper than medical information, but I understand that this is not natural and felt it important to inform you as Colonial Marine officials.
Is there any other people in Fakir or any other city that are in power and are suffering with the same illness that you know of?
My understanding is that several individuals in Zapsy have fallen prey to illnesses similar to this. In addition, research of my own has shown that some of the materials that are present inside of the fish that we have to eat include incredibly high amounts of carcinogenic substances, well beyond that of the normal creatures of this planet.
All right. So, somebody could be making a poison using the fish.
He
Or it could also
punches you. No, I'm just kidding.
If he doesn't, I just cry in a little corner and go into the fetal position.
Yeah, so is there any way to determine, what are we looking at here? Are we looking at, we're looking like an intentional poisoning of individuals, or does this look like a natural byproduct of unauthorized, I don't know, waste disposal or something?
Are you asking me, PFC?
No, it was a rhetorical question. If people are being targeted, then then obviously it's got to be an intentional poisoning.
Question, Working Joe. How do they prepare this fish when they go to cook it? Do they know about these carcinogens, and do they burn out these poisonous things or cut them out, or?
Stand by, looking in records. what limited access I have to the population and the things that they do is that most individuals here in both Zapsy and Fakir try to avoid taking in any of the fish, or if they do so, they do it at very minimal amounts. Unfortunately, the very poor have to subsist on this material. Rates of cancer are much higher in these individuals. This was known to us from a broadcast from Three World Empire. Unfortunately, it would appear that the carcinogenics in these fish has increased as time goes by. Most of these carcinogenic materials include things like heavy metals, methylmercury, and similar compounds that we would expect to see retained by fish.
Well, hold on a sec. Could you clarify one point for me? Maybe I misunderstood. Did you say that it would appear to be only individuals in positions of authority that are suffering, or multiple, or does it appear to be just the population at large?
The two things are not linked to one another. We have lost, stand by, looking in records, 3 individuals in Fakir and approximately 7 to 8 people that have suffered from similar sicknesses to the mayor. The people in Fakir and Zapsy have much higher incident rates of cancer. Unfortunately, as a medical droid, I do not have access to any types of anti-cancer medications, and these individuals often die due to this disease. Sometimes we have members from the nest come down and provide some materials, but they never last.
So we're not looking at a targeted. It isn't necessarily that someone is targeting the mayor. It's more the population in general in this town are.
So just to clarify, there's 2 different things here that are going on. One, it seems to be that there's a small amount of people that have suffered from the similar sickness to this woman. And then it seems like the amount of people with cancer has increased fairly dramatically within the past couple of years. So it's 2 different things ongoing. May be related, may not be related.
Well, I'm trying to pinpoint a pattern here. Are they just trying to wipe out the entire population, or is this just careless waste disposal, or in addition to, in parallel to, are they also trying to take out the mayor and others like her? Do we have anything that would indicate that?
The droid just stares at you.
Yeah. Well, then that's kind of a dead end. Let's.
Yeah, but it's not something to rule out.
Maybe we should go check out where they source their food and all that fun stuff. Take a trip down to the kitchens, presuming this place has a kitchens.
Yeah. Well, I think we need to run a detail on this Lane character and keep an eye on him.
Why don't we just keep him with us? Surely we can bullshit him enough. But I mean, that's something to take up with the rest of the team. But we'll say, hey, why don't you come with? We think you could have a lot of good information. Why don't we let you in on the inside of our investigation and take him right down into town. Take him up to the ship, and then lock his ass up. Say, oh, the door's stuck. You see where I'm going with this?
Just war crimes. Fuck it.
Yeah, let's just kind of take him out of the equation for, as opposed to just straight out killing him.
Just Guantanamo his ass. Come on.
Yeah.
But in a nice way.
Gotcha.
Why don't we tell him, because he doesn't know about our conversation with the mayor, why don't we tell him that he's going to be our interpreter out here on the field?
There you go.
And he's going to have to comply. So,
I mean, there's obviously a potential downside on that. There's some people that may not talk to us that might have otherwise, although it looks like nobody wants to talk to us, but that might have, that are not going to do it if he's with us.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd be treading kind of a fine line, keeping him befuddled and monopolized, but at the same time still keeping a lot of potential communication open to anyone who wants to reach out to us.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. We already got some heat on our back. I really don't want to put any more targets on our back, but
I think we need to take this Lane character out. Not, kill him, but I think we need to take him out of the equation somehow.
But I think he's our pawn we could follow and use to get to the warlords. Or get to whoever's in the nest. We don't know which side this guy's working for. He could be working for the warlords. He could be working for the nest.
Let's just presume that he's doing both. Okay, worst case scenario, he's doing both. What's your play?
My play is we tail him, we track him, and we find any suspicious activity that we do. An old style case and follow. We're
too conspicuous, Finnigan. I like where you're going. I like what you're saying, but my counter is we're not going to be tailing anybody. Certainly not in our APC. I don't think we're going to get very far with that. There's got to be another way.
Access to trackers or anything?
No, unfortunately, this isn't Judge Dredd. There's no. I bet you're missing Judge Walker right now. I mean, so I want to point a couple of things out to just, maybe this will help you. Maybe this will just fucking stir the pot even worse, right? There are 4 colonies on this planet, and they are all in one location. You have the nest, then you have Nolosha, Fakir, and Zabsi, and it's all in this small area. The rest of the planet is either unoccupied, there's a little bit of mining going on for local materials, but mostly a big chunk of it's just farmland. So, I kind of want to point that out with what you're asking, could this just be, unauthorized waste disposal? Well, there's still a big chunk of this planet that's ocean-based, and it took us quite a bit of time to fuck up Earth. So, something to keep in mind. Another thing is that the population is fairly slim, all things considered. Overall, there's about 100,000 people on this planet. So, and you all stand out fairly well. Material-wise, you can try to do, Alpha Wolf Zero, we could possibly be famous, dude. Wouldn't that be great? Wow. Big follows, Doc. Fuck you. FX Bruins 123337. Go fist yourself. So you have what's available to you on ship, which means, thank you by the way. Which means you have a ship. There are some satellites orbiting the planet that you could possibly try to get a hold of. Tracking individuals would be pretty hard. Not a whole lot of material for that kind of thing in the military. One second, I would point out that you do have Atom Squadron.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Who might have that kind of materials.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say that he does lead us somewhere. Then what? Say he leads us to, one of the execs, one of the corp execs back in the nest. Then what? What's our play?
We gotta. Honestly, I think we gotta find some sort of evidence. If there's a fact, if this guy leads us to the fact that someone in the nest or someone in the warlords is providing him with something to bring the sickness to these high individuals, like the mayor, then that's evidence right there for both parties.
Yeah, but who's going to care? Who's going to care? Let's take a step back. Let's look at the big picture here. So from the time we've been here, from what we've seen so far, is this place is a mess. Okay, you've got the corporation. It's pretty obvious. You've got the corporation wanting to exploit resources. They've got stuck with these squatters, and they're forced to put up with them for what? I mean, help me out, JW. Because the public image, they give a shit what people back on Earth, or do people back on Earth even know if they're crapping on a bunch of settlers, squatters here on this planet way out here?
No, nobody gives a shit outside of here. I mean, the people of this planet care. Three World Empire has, if you recall, your first day on planet, the head of Three World Empire made a joke that you guys are all here to start killing all the locals.
That's true.
I mean,
Okay, so we think about that. So nobody cares back on Old Earth. Or sorry, I don't know. I'm saying Old Earth. What was I just watching? They called it Old Earth. Doesn't matter. Nobody cares back on Earth. The corporation would rather have these people gone. Or I wouldn't be surprised at all to think that they're killing them off with targeted waste disposal, radioactive compound elements, whatever the fuck they're called. So, are the warlords the bad guys here? Are we sure that the warlords are the bad guys? You heard what the mayor said. They're putting a target on our back because they're hoping if we get killed, it'll make a big enough stink and it'll bring in more Marines, and that potentially they could manipulate supposedly the situation to their advantage. Maybe an outright revolt or something. The Corp doesn't care about these people, and as far as they're concerned, we're disposable as well. That's just another day in the Corps. So what's our goal? What's our key objective? Us, the team, besides staying alive.
Our original mission was to come here and pacify the situation.
Okay, so pacify the situation. All right, well, let's think about that. As tough as it is to accept, these being other humans, what? Pacify the situation would be to just let them kill each other off, right? I'm just playing devil's advocate right now.
But that's the thing, though. It shouldn't be. If it's inner turmoil between the three cities, that's one thing. But it's another thing to involve the people that are supposed to be here to protect them.
Where do our loyalties lie? Where should they lie?
Well, now, Zapp, I think that's a personal thing, but our loyalties first lie to the core, I would say.
Hoorah!
But I don't know.
Is this
I
just
don't know
above
where
our,
we should go.
Yeah, is this above our pay grade?
well, your pay grade, the person higher than your pay grade was too cool to be here today, so you're gonna have to make some decisions, buddy.
Yeah, well, you know the thing about stripes? The zebra's got stripes. It's still a jackass underneath.
In Tijuana, that's true. And I've seen that one, by the way. I've been there. So.
How do you want to play this? I know that's the third time I've asked you that, and I hate to put you on the spot, but fuck, I'm just a grunt. And again, I'm
a pilot. What in the world do you expect me to do? I mean, like,
who are we trying to help here? What are we trying to do? Are we trying to pacify the situation? Maybe they're right. Maybe we should just leave. And then,
well, the only lead that we do have is Lane right now.
He's an asshole. So, he meets with an unfortunate accident. There you go. Situation solved.
Yeah, I don't need a court-martial on my tail right now. I almost got court-martialed before I got here.
So I have a quick question. Have you guys been having this conversation out there in front of the droid?
God, I hope not.
Because you guys never said if you were heading outside or anything.
No, you're right. We didn't say that.
Well, yeah.
So I kind of want to interject with this then, because I feel like I can make this even worse for you guys.
Oh, good.
I mean, like, that's kind of the goal here, right? And for some reason, you got really small there for a second, Zapp, and now you're a little bit delayed, but that's fine. It's fine. Let me double check something really quick. Okay, it's not me, so that's fine. We're good. And so, you guys have been in deep with a conversation that is... It's a legitimate conversation to have, right? This is not a single squad out in the middle of a rock or anything where you can just call up your, first you call your captain, then the captain calls the light colonel or the major, and it goes on up to the general. It doesn't work like that. You guys are literally here and have to make decisions that could affect hundreds of thousands of lives. And so while you're having this conversation, I think it's just a little too in depth, and you don't realize that somebody was listening to you. And you look back and you can see Aziza standing there with her arms crossed, listening to you.
What, is this the daughter?
This is the daughter.
Oh, great.
And so she walks up as you guys kind of take a pause. And she says,
There's more here than even the things that you're talking about. We heard word that there was an attack in Nolosha. Yes?
There was?
No, there was.
And that it came from residents here?
That's what was claimed. All indicators are.
so she looks down as if she's trying to debate things like this, like how far do I go? What do I do? And she says,
The warlords are strangling everyone here. Most of the propaganda is that they're doing it, as I said, to bring light what the company and Three World Empire are doing. But men and women of power will always do things for their own gains. If you think of what would happen if Colonial Marines came here, and perhaps they do find out that there's so many things going on that's below the surface, perhaps things will turn over into our hands and this will be our planet. And then what? Who governs us? Until somebody else comes in and takes power away from them? Or do the warlords continue? That attack was done by people from my city. And I believe...
and she pauses for another minute, and she just kind of shakes her head, and she's kind of like looking down. And she kind of itches at her face. And then finally she looks back up and she says,
There's a separate faction here, inside of Fakir. You have to understand that unlike Nolosha, who they just must have gotten the best fields, they're able to mostly subsist on their grains, and they have those chickens that happen to be mutated in order to deal with the air. Explosives for Zapp. That they're able to deal with the air and then live in this environment, and so they have meat and they have stuff. We don't have those things. We've tried trading with Nolosha, and Nolosha will not trade with us for those materials. They'll give us eggs, and sometimes they'll sell us meat, but they'll never sell us the live animals. There's a separate faction here in Fakir that believes that unification is impossible, and the only way to get what you want is to take it. And my mother has been fighting that, trying to build unity with Nolosha, but the council there refuses. And so Zapsy and the warlords just take advantage of the situation. And so I think that perhaps this group finally took it into their own hands to try and make a name for themselves.
Where is this faction located? Do you know? Do you know anything about their hideouts, their meeting places, anything?
A faction is people. If I knew where they were meeting, we could crush them. My mother has tried, but at every stop she is barred somehow or another, and so it makes you think that perhaps our security forces aren't as good at their job as they should be, if you understand what I'm saying. But I don't know. I do know that very well could have been the first blow in this whole uprising. And I do know that the warlords are evil. They spill they send their propaganda out, and yes, would the best thing for us to happen is for you to leave? Absolutely. But without removing them from power, they're getting weapons. Where are they getting weapons from? Our people, our security forces have pistols that are older than space travel sometimes. Where are they getting these weapons from? How
Tell
are
me
they
something.
getting these weapons?
Tell me something. So if these warlords were out of the picture, just theoretically, there would be a power vacuum. Who would fill that power vacuum? If you had to guess.
And so you notice that this woman has kind of gotten a little bit more, like, willing to speak with you. She's not. You have to understand that you came in on her with her sick mother, and she is, here comes the outsiders. But the fact that she was listening to your conversation, and even though it sounded like you, Zapp, was very much saying, like, we got a job to do, the fact that there was even a discussion about that kind of thing probably had an impact on this person. And so...
And we're rolling with that. We noticed a change in her attitude, and we're compensating appropriately.
And so she kind of looks at you, and she kind of itches her chin just a little bit, and she thinks,
I would like to cling to hope. I would like to cling to hope that my mother will get well, and she will make amends with the people of Nolosha, and that the people of power could be put into Zapsy, and all of us, the three cities, could rule together as one without the need of warlords, without the need of violence, and we could just live. But then I don't know if the company will allow that, and the Three World Empire will allow that. My mother is sick with something that the droid has never seen before. How? How is she sick with something? Why am I not sick? Why is not everyone in this city not sick? There is something going on here with those people. And
Who controls? Presumably, you control access to your mother, correct? Where does she get her food from? Where's she getting her medication from? Who sources that?
The android gives her medication. What little we have. Oh, sorry, wrong voice.
The android, with what little medication we have, is the one that administers to her. My mother, when she was well, just 2 weeks ago, would constantly be moving about the city, talking with people and trying to find what could be done to make their lives better. She's a woman of the people. She cares about them. She cares about every individual. When she wasn't here, she was in Nolosha talking to the council there, trying to barter and plead with them to just unite.
Holy shit. So she was wandering about the town. Is that what you just said? Not wandering, but she was on a circuit of the town.
She always goes out in town, yes, and she would probably eat with people, and I mean, that is part of our custom, is to share, food with one another, considering how small of a resource it is.
This is crazy, and it's a long shot, but can you ask the droid, does she have any unusual puncture wounds?
And so she turns to the droid, and and she summons it back over. She talks to it for a minute, and the droid heads off. And it's probably about Aziza's just kind of standing there waiting, and waiting. And then the android comes back and says,
I have completed my analysis.
And?
My analysis shows the possibility of intrusion from an outside object in the woman's hand.
Finnigan, you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I think so.
We're talking like she went to shake someone's hand, and they had something on them, and injected something into her. Could that have any impact on her treatment? If you have that information, is that a possible alteration or treatment that you could undertake that would maybe have some sort of contact poison?
If the poison is chemical in nature, I can begin running analysis through a gas chromatograph and liquid chromatography to try and find what type of poison it is. If poison is a factor here, there may be a possibility to remove it using chelation.
Well, get on that, son.
Unfortunately, PFC, I do not have chelating materials, but I can begin running these analyses.
Hey, is this something we could get off the ship, JW? We've got a med bay.
So chelating agents on board of a ship are usually used for things like heavy metal poisoning, so it's going to be very specific type depending on what he finds with the poisoning. If there is a poisoning, but probably not.
Can we take it? Do we have a better? Well, you would think so, right? We must have some sort of diagnostic kit in our med bay. We must have some sort of diagnostic.
You have an auto doc, yeah. So given that, so originally your medic, right, was doing most of the work, but because sometimes these medics go down and they get wounded, there's auto doc aboard your ship, but it is an auto doc, and an auto doc is probably about the same caliber as this thing.
Okay, so we don't have any resources on board that we could take her up to and avail ourselves of.
The only other resource that I can think of that's aboard our ship right now is Bishop.
That's an option.
I mean, he's not. We know for a fact Bishop's not a Seegson model, and right, yeah, because he's not just a regular working Joe. He's meant to blend in with.
Yeah, but does he have any sort of medical?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well then, hell, let's get him down here.
These Bishop units are like top of the line.
Then let's get him in here. Have him take a look. See what he can do for her. That would, and I would say that that's appropriate use of core resources. We're stabilizing the situation.
How are you going to get Bishop there?
Yeah, that's a good point. Are we really going to fly him in?
You want to have him fly your Mantis in and land there?
No. That's a good point. We're going to need to bring him out.
We can get a hold of Squad A or B or whatever they are.
Adam Squadron.
Oh yes, Adam Squadron. And have them bring Bishop to us in our current position, and then we could relay information to them about this whole lane and other faction thing.
I still say we have to, without being too obvious about it, short of actually tying him up, we got to keep Lane preoccupied and try to keep him out of the picture, because he's gonna do everything he can to stop us. If he knew that we were bringing, if he really is a threat to the mayor, he's gonna be difficult about us bringing in Bishop. Is my guess.
Right now, our boys got him probably incapacitated outside in the incapacitated out in the.
How do we reach Bishop? Is the only way to reach Bishop is to go out to the APC?
Given that you're inside of a building, I mean, you're gonna have to patch into your main communication system with the APC.
Yeah.
Okay, so that complicates things. Do we have an open channel to Alpha Squad?
from the APC. Like I said, you're not going to be able to reach here. These are basically like No, you probably didn't have inviters. They're short range communication. Couple, maybe like 5-10 kilometers max.
Okay.
So, but your APC definitely could reach Atom Squad, and Atom Squad gave you a private line to contact them that's encrypted so that they can't be tapped by.
And what do we gauge would be the reaction if Atom Squad came rolling into town? Is that just a standard patrol? There would be nothing new for them, or would that?
They're already out, if you recall, right? That was your guys' thing. Was that you were going to land, Atom Squadron was going to be out and about on a patrol, and they were going to shift to your direction in case you needed help.
Yeah. But my question is what would the locals' reaction be if they rolled into town?
Could ask.
Yeah. Ask her. Ask the daughter. She's right here with us, right?
She is right there with you.
Excuse me, ma'am. So we have Atom Squad. Obviously, they're corporate men, but they seem to be more or less a good team, men and women. What would be the reaction if they were to come into town and in a support capacity?
The people of the towns generally will avoid the security forces, but they're at least respected. Almost at least half, if not more, of the security forces are respectful to the citizens of these towns, and they've been helpful. I know that Morgan Lane has had interactions with them several times, the different squadrons. They probably would react normal. They would see it happening and just understand that it happened.
Well, here's what we're thinking, ma'am. We'd like your input if you would agree with this. We're thinking we have a bishop unit whose medical capabilities are significantly more advanced than your own unit. No disrespect, and we'd like to bring them into town and have them look at your mother and maybe stabilize her condition. In order to do that, we'd have to land them outside of town and have Atom Squad pick them up and bring them in. Would that be acceptable to you?
Oh, yes, of course. Anything to help my mother. This town will fall apart if Morgan Lane moves into power.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. So that's the next question, is how do we make these... We're keeping Lane currently occupied, but we need the communications of the APC to be able to reach both Bishop and Atom Squad. So
Come with me. And so she
takes you to a back room. The droid watches you go with its dead eyes. Especially Finnigan is just staring at him. It's just...
Oh, I'm keeping eye contact with him the whole time because I'm just waiting for his eyes to go red.
Red,
and,
yeah, I was about to say. And so she takes you back, and there's a small room that has a bunch of communications equipment in it. It looks older than all of you. It's definitely not even original here. It probably came from their previous home. And so she kind of like motions towards it and says,
she's like, this equipment can reach any of the cities, as well as the nest, but if you're on an unrestricted channel, they're gonna know where you're coming from.
What do you think, Finnigan? Is that tip in our hand? If we call Bishop, have him land? Well, surely we've got some maybe it'd be pretty common knowledge, but we must have some sort of standard code for, that we need them planet side.
Well, you have for Atom Squad, you have a secured channel you know how to get to. You could punch the code in and do it.
Okay.
So you have that. If you want to get a hold of Bishop, there's probably ciphers that you can use, but who knows who has access to those.
Do we take the chance, Finnigan?
Yeah. I have an idea.
Let's hear it.
So I punch in the code for our ship.
For your ship.
To get a hold of Bishop. Yeah. So I open up that channel.
And then,
Bishop.
is it that case of once you raise him, then it'd be as simple as security protocol, blah 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 blah. Go to channel, and then we'd be able to switch to a secure channel, right?
Yeah. Right. Is that right?
Sure. Sounds good to me.
Okay. Bishop, we need your help immediately. We're in Fakir. Things went bad. Things went to south. Sergeant's down. We need medical help. We don't have our medical officers down. We don't have anybody to help him. Sergeant's down. We need some help. We got a few more wounded here. We need you to come, and we're gonna pick up Adam's squadron and have them come and pick you up, and they'll come to us.
Understood, PFC Finnigan. I will gather up medical materials and meet Adam's squadron at a position where we can safely land the Mantis ship.
Okay. Next
And
call.
then I switch over to
Adam's squadron.
Adam's squadron.
Okay, give me 1 second. I gotta remember names. I gotta look these up. Where are these guys at? Nope, those are randos. Where is my Adam squadron? Greenfields NPC Security Team Adam. There we go. All right, go for it.
Adam squadron, come in. This is PFC Joseph Finnigan with the 13th SCU.
Yep, this is Officer Thompson. What can I do?
Hey, Officer Thompson, I got a job for you. I need you to head to I'm gonna give him the location that Bishop's gonna be at, and I need you to pick up our Bishop unit, and then I need you to come to Fakir outside of the mayor's house. I need you to deliver the Bishop unit to us.
Roger that. We're en route. Stand by.
And then I turn around and look at Zapp and I say, look, we know Sarge ain't down. We know we ain't got any wounded right now. But it was the only way to keep anybody
That's
who
the way
has
they're gonna
prying
understand
ears
it.
off. Yeah.
You are a
maybe
fucking genius.
keep the warlords off our back.
So, what now?
All right, so what are you doing in between? While it'll be a little bit before they get there.
Do we got a secure channel to people in the APC? The
Yeah,
rest of the crew?
your helmet stuff has it.
We fill them in on what's going on, where we're at. Ask them to please keep Lane, continue to keep him occupied.
And so, Sergeant Stratford's kind of like wanting a sit rep and everything. I'm sure which you'd pass off to him, even though he's a zebra. And Sire's sitting in the back of the APC with Stratford just licking his knife like a weirdo. Davis is somewhere off in the distance where nobody knows where he is, just with his in position with his sniper rifle. So they're appraised. It's probably maybe like going to be 30 minutes or so. Is there anything you wanted to do in between there? Maybe a little longer, actually. Now I'm remembering what vehicles they have.
Do we want to take a look around this place? Are they going to let us take a look around this place? This facility? This building we're in?
I think we should at least let them know that we need to case the place just to make sure that nobody
You know what I'd like to
in
do?
the house is going to harm them.
Yeah, that might be that may not be easy to identify without actually doing a person-to-person interview with everybody that's in this place. I'm not saying we don't go down that route, but I'd like to get up on the roof first and just see what our perimeter looks like.
So that's not too hard. Most of these buildings have open or walkways up into the roofs. So a lot of places that that's a very common thing because it's just easier to get air in. But of course here, you have a problem with that. So there's an airlock system that allows you to get to the top of the building. And
well, before we do that, we let what's her name? We let the mayor's daughter know that we've got Bishop on his way to just stay with her mother. Don't let anyone else in access to her mother. And that we're going to go on the roof and check the perimeter and look for the arriving Atom Squad. And as you were saying, sorry.
Yep. And so you go to the top, and it's not ramshackle, right? There's obvious, stone buildings. There's most of the stuff is made out of stone or other materials, that are easy to get a hold of. Not a lot of wood. There are trees on this planet. The trees are just kind of stunted a little bit. And so the wood's there and available. You saw a lot of it whenever you were in the nest. It takes a lot of effort to get it down, and whenever you're already, starving, basically, it kind of negates that want to do that. So there's a, sorry, give me 1 second here. I gotta remember what all I wanted to have at this place. I got a lot of notes. Here we go. So what's interesting is that, and I'm sorry, it wasn't 100,000. It's roughly 2,500 or 25,000, not 100,000. 25,000. Excuse me.
All told. All
told in the entire planet is 25,000, not 100,000. Excuse me.
Including the nest. Okay, gotcha.
Including the nest. The nest has an approximate population of, it was only like 2,000 to 3,000. Total. I'm sorry. Nest is 1,500. The Nolosha had about 8,500. Fakir has about 10, and Zapsy has about 12.5. Zapsy's actually the biggest. So here, there's the normal bartering. There's actually a fairly big solar farm just outside the city. There's a river that runs next to the city that leads out to the ocean. And even from here, you can see boats sitting on that river, and they have lines casted out and so on and so forth. The center of the city is actually fairly well managed. Kind of reminds you of Nolosha, where it's like nice and neat and orderly, but as you kind of break away from the center, things become more and more chaotic. As you get away from the center, you start to get more of these ramshackled areas where things are just kind of cobbled together. And then as you get further and further away from that, you start to see farms spreading out into the distance. They're definitely, you can see people going up and down the river, like I said. And you can see people walking about, doing their thing. There's a market. There is, a lot of fish for sale at the market that you can see from here, which is pretty close to town center. There's some things that are brought over from Nolosha. In fact, you can kind of see some vehicles kind of scattered about, and they look like the kind of thing that you saw in Nolosha, right? Like people are coming here to sell things as well. And so, you don't see a ton of people. There isn't like in Nolosha where there was like a school right next to the main building and there's kids out playing. People are kind of keeping to themselves. You do see some people moving around as if they're on patrol.
What do you mean on patrol?
On patrol. So they're walking around as if they're kind of like doing like these things, right? They're stopping, they're talking to people. It's a very obvious kind of thing, right?
Are they in uniform?
They do not have uniforms on, but from this distance you really can't tell. But when they turn, you can kind of see like something shine from their lapel, their chest. Overall, this place is not as good and orderly as Nolosha is, and it looks like the people that you can kind of see from the top of the building that are walking by look more malnourished than those people there, and they didn't look like they were doing the best off.
Okay. Are there any other besides here on the roof, any other high points of the town?
couple of buildings about relative height. There's not a whole lot of 2-story buildings because that requires a lot of work and materials. Metals are a little bit on the shy side here. Yeah, there is some mining that happens and with materials that are brought. So, 1-story buildings are the common thing. Yeah.
Let's see. Do we have binoculars? I think we have binoculars.
Yeah, sure. That's not a
Just
problem.
gonna do a sweep of these other high points around the town.
You see on some of them, people are, standing there just kind of, sitting around with their masks on, doing their thing. But for the most part, the other high points are empty. They're just buildings.
Okay. Do we see the Bear Claw land?
Yes, actually, the Bear Claw in all of its glazed glory is en route. You can kind of see it coming in, and it's going to land just outside of town.
Okay, and Adam Squad was aware of the coordinates that had been coming in, right?
Yes.
Can that ship be sent back up?
Well, I mean, Bearcat it's a rotor vehicle. I mean, well, it's a jet rotor vehicle, but it can do its thing. Yeah, it's got a pilot and a co-pilot, and then it's got room for six plus 2.
Oh, I didn't realize we had that crew. We have a designated pilot that flies it. The Bearcat.
Their Bearcat. Yeah, it's theirs. So security forces. There's 1, 2. Hold on, sorry. There's one, two,
okay,
three, 4, 5,
right. I'm
6,
confusing
7,
this with our ship.
Oh, the Manus? No, the Manus is not here. No. The Manus was landed somewhere safe that Bishop determined was good and set up sentry guns before he got off.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so at this point, we're just waiting for Adam Squad to do their pickup.
They've already picked up. They're coming in for a landing.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so, you could see 3 of the people kind of hustling the Bishop unit in, who actually has a mask on his face. They're hustling in.
Nice.
And so, everyone's kind of giving them berth, although you can, or wide berth, but you can kind of see some people they're pretty respectful of these individuals, like, especially Adam Squadron. Adam Squadron has a name. So you see Thompson, which is the kid, right? You see Sessa Riffin, who is the one that took control when Brookson got injured. That was their sergeant. And there's another guy who's coming along. His name he has on his name tape is Camden. And so they're kind of surrounded the Bishop unit, and they're hustling him forward.
Okay, we go downstairs to meet him, right? Finnigan?
Yeah.
And so the minute that they come in, Thompson is kind of breathing hard. He's the kid, right? He's the one that jumped on Thompson to try and save him. He's breathing hard. He's like, Sergeant Stratford around. I gotta talk to him.
Wait. What's going on? We'll pass it on. He's currently occupied with local official.
And so
what's the problem?
You see Aziza, the woman that she's been kind of walking around with you everywhere that you go. She's kind of looking at Thompson, and he stops and looks at her, and then looks at you two, like,
whatever you got to say to us, you can say to her. Go ahead.
And so he looks between you. He's like, do you remember that woman? The one that punked your friend out really bad? The one with the knife? Nah, the weird one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she died.
Okay.
In custody.
Wait, what?
You guys got her. You arrested her. You turned her over to the local law enforcement there in the nest. She died in custody.
Yeah, okay. Well, this doesn't necessarily mean what it potentially could, what you're inferring.
Do you understand?
No, hold on.
People
Johnson,
do not die in custody here.
Take a breath.
There's something going on, Zapp!
Johnson, take a breath.
Thompson with a T.
Take a breath. Now, do we know that this wasn't a case of an attempted escape?
And so, you whenever you're talking, the Aziza's kind of like looking between you all, and she stops and she says,
"What was this woman's name?" Oh, sorry, wrong voice.
What was this woman's name?
And Finnegan's like, fuck, I need to keep better notes.
There's been so many people I don't even think I would be able to remember, anyways.
Dude, I got
What, Thompson doesn't know?
I got fucking spreadsheets of this shit. Look at this, okay? Like, so Thompson's like, her name was Sharon Rutland, and so you see the face of of Aziza go like dark, like just ugly, angry look. What is that noise? What is happening? Is that one of you guys?
Nah, that's my kid jumping on her trampoline. Hold on
okay.
one second.
No, it's cool. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It just startled me. I'm like, what's happening? What is that? Are we under attack? Is it shit getting real? Is that your heart?
Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. So no, it's totally okay. Don't worry about it. Kids can do what they want. So Aziza kind of like looks between you, and she says,
She's a suspect. She's suspected as being part of this other group of Fakirians.
She was part of the group that we threw in prison because they blew up the thing in Nolosha.
And it wasn't just that. She dropped quite a few comments that she'd be out in no time. That she had some sort of inside contact.
Well,
Obviously,
apparently she's out in no time.
yeah, obviously that backfired on her. But Thompson, do you know the condition, the reasons under what conditions she was killed?
Nothing. We were out on patrol, and Brookson's still recovering, and he just messaged us on a secure line, said that woman died in custody. That's super unusual, man. That's really, really weird. People don't die here in custody, okay?
Yeah, we get it. Well, but anyways, Bishop, we need to get you upstairs.
Of course, PFC. Please. And then he looks for stairs, and he's like, I do not see any stairs. Perhaps the woman's bedroom here on the first floor? And so... Uh-oh. Zapp died. Oh, no! Alright, Finnigan. It's just you, buddy.
Great.
This is it. This has now become the PFC Finnigan show. Oh, wait, no, he's back. He's not back. I'll keep an eye out for whenever he gets back. So, what are you doing here?
So, as we're escorting Bishop to the room, I'm gonna be like, Bishop, I'm sorry I had to lie to you, but you understand why I had to do what I had to do. Unsecure lines and all that.
Of course, PFC. I detected different stress levels in your voice, and I understood that Sergeant Stratford was not down.
Yeah. So we need you to analyze with this other working Joe the condition of the mayor here and figure out a solution to possibly help her come to a full health and healing.
And so Bishop kind of walks by the working Joe, who kind of stares at him back. And so he kind of pushes by him, and the working Joe follows right along with him behind. And Bishop looks at the working Joe and says, full report now. And so the working Joe kind of spits out the report that he gave to you, but it's really broken, and there's like a lot of stuttering in it whenever he gives the report. There you go. Welcome back, Zapp.
Thanks, guys. I had to stop that noise. Sorry about that.
Dude, you should go back and watch the first episode that we did whenever I did it inside my house, and I had both of my kids running around. You could see the camera get grabbed and jerked upwards and like shoved into kids' faces. It's cool, man. I don't care. Again, we're here to have fun. The show's all secondary, so who cares? And so Bishop gets the working Joe is kind of like, it's almost hesitant to give the report to Bishop. It's almost hesitant, but it stutters its way along, and it gives him the report. And so Bishop walks over beside the woman, and he kind of like looks over her, and he pulls out a bunch of stuff from a kit that he has, and he kind of starts to begin setting things out. And the working Joe's standing next to him, and it looks like it's there to help. What do you want to do while they're doing this?
I'm keeping my eye on the working Joe. Like, I just don't trust him now that he's starting to stutter more and everything like that. And I'm just, I don't let a dirty synth near my garage. So
You don't let a dirty synth next to your cool synth?
yeah.
Who else is in the room right now?
So it's you, Finnigan, the bishop unit, the daughter, the mayor, and the working Joe. The other three kind of like said they'll post up outside.
Yeah, please secure the perimeter.
Yep. And so Finnigan, what are you doing right now, Zapp?
I'm standing in the doorway, looking into the hallway, up and down.
Finnigan, give me an observation check. You want to push that?
Please do.
Yeah, I'd say that I'm
I was about to say.
paying
yeah.
pretty close attention.
You see the eyes. Oh, sorry, wrong thing here. You see the eyes of the working Joe go red,
No!
and its arm pulls back, and it's about to
immediately
punch
pull up my
Bishop.
357 and take a shot.
Okay, so you can shoot before it tries to punch Bishop. Oh! Oh, good lord! Roll that panic, my friend. Oh, wait, sorry. So, you were given a bonus die. Go ahead and do slash roll. We're gonna, for bonus dies for this, we're gonna say that it's 2 because of the way the system works. So do slash roll 2d6. Oh, thank God.
Yep.
Okay, so you pull the trigger and it the first round goes off, right? And it hits the working Joe. It's definitely not out by a long shot. In fact, I need to roll its armor. The damage on that's 2, so it does 1. So it hits it, and its arm's still pulled back, and it looks over at you, right, with these dark red eyes, like just with evilness in them. But you try to pull the trigger again, and the cylinder locks. So you're going to have to try and clear that. All right, so we are going to go to initiative.
Roll, baby, roll.
Roll the beautiful initiative footage.
Roll that beautiful initiative. So we add you to the combat tracker. I need something random for. I didn't have this character ready, so we'll say that this guy right here is going to be the working Joe, and so we roll all of them. All right, so the initiative order: PFC Benno Zapp, you are first, my friend.
Cool. Okay, so what? So I spin around. I hear this go down. I spin around. I whip the pulse rifle off my shoulder.
That's your fast action.
Yeah. What am I looking at?
So you see that Bishop is kind of leaned over trying to run tests on this. You see milky fluid leaking out of the working Joe as it's about to just clock Bishop.
I'm gonna take a targeted shot at the fucker's head.
Okay, so so there's not a whole lot that the game system does with targeting and stuff. I'll let you do something like that, but it's going to be at a bad modifier.
Ah, well, fuck that.
Okay. So go to your pulse rifle, right? It needs to be your weapon. Let's see here. So you guys are not Greenfields, you're player characters.
Why am I panicked 7?
You're not. Let me fix it.
Oh, okay.
There you go. You're set.
Okay.
Inventory. So you got that pulse rifle. Jesus, you got way too many weapons. There you go.
Matter of opinion.
All right. So if you just click that pulse rifle, it'll do the roll for it for a single shot.
I clicked it. Hold on. Nothing happened. Let me try again.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
it. No, stop clicking. It's going.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one. So it was 2 successes. How you want to spend that stunt?
Oh, check that out. How do I just? Oh, jeez. What are my choices?
You can push it into damage. Normally you can make it drop something, but it's not carrying anything. You can try and knock it prone, but with a droid, that's really going to take 2 different successes. So, for the most part, your thing is 1 extra 1 damage.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go with that.
All right, so you end up hitting this with an explosive tip caseless standard light armor piercing round, and it knocks a big hole into it, and you can start seeing, some of its innies and its outies, but or its innies have become its outies, but it's not down. It's definitely not down.
Son of a bitch.
And so it swings as hard as it can, and it does a close combat check on the bishop unit.
Did the bishop unit get a?
Hold on. It's on the turn tracker. So the bishop unit is going to use the fight back, or the block using its fast action. Give me some hot bishop action. Oh, it is not a close combat guy. All right, so droids can't push rolls, so that takes it to, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 2. So it still hits. Bishop, do you have any armor, buddy? You got any armor, little bishop man? No, he doesn't. And so he ends up taking 2 points of damage from the close combat hit.
Bishop does.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, and so that takes us to Finnigan.
I think the only thing that I can do is unjam this revolver, and that's going to be about it.
Okay, so that'll be your slow action. Anything you want to do your fast action? We're not using a combat map. You guys are all considered similar zones and everything. So we're not going to use any zone modifications or anything. Unless you want to walk up behind it, you know what I mean? And get that +3 modifier.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not gonna move. I'm just gonna try and unjam this weapon real quick.
Okay. All right, and so that takes us to the bishop unit. So, with his laws, he cannot by action or by mission of action allow to be harmed a human being, but that doesn't mean anything for fucking droids. And so he has a bunch of tools on the table. He grabs up a sharp object and tries to jam it into that working Joe. And so the working Joe uses its fast action to try and block. And it does so. So the two are kind of like really kind of, you've seen Covenant, right? Where the two David units fight.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Mm.
So it's really fucking fast and hard with every single hit that happens. But that takes us back to Zapp. What are you doing?
Do I got a clear shot, or is Bishop in the way?
They are now kind of engaged with one another, so you're going to be taking a difficulty modifier on it. Let me see. Aim shot, shooting, rain or dim target, small target, darkness. No, actually, you won't be taking a modifier for it. Yeah,
Oh,
Zapp.
excellent.
What kind of name is Zapp?
Hey, leave it alone.
His name is actually Zapp Brannigan, the man with no name.
Yeah, exactly.
So go ahead and just roll that straight. Sorry, I'm just reading something here really quick.
Did that come up?
Sure did. So that's 1 success. So that hits. 46. So he takes 1 more damage. So you see him kind of, but he's still up and moving. And so he tries to now really get ugly with the bishop unit. And so he kind of like elbows the bishop unit back, brings up both his hands, and tries to slam down on the bishop unit. Bishop tries to do his block maneuver with his fast action. Oh, that's twice. Oh, and he does. So the two are kind of intermixing with each other, trading blows, kind of blocking each other, snapping back and forth. All right, what's Finnigan doing? You're up.
Do I have my
You have cleared the jam.
my revolver unjammed?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm aiming, and I'm taking a shot at the Working Joe's head.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll do a aim shot gives you a +2 modifier. Since you're aiming and doing a specific target, we'll say it's a -2 modifier to that. So just roll straight, and then we'll go with what happens with that. Will you hit? You want to push it?
Yeah. I think I'm paying extra close attention to what's going on.
Push it.
Oh!
Roll panic.
Let's
Let's see if that shot even gets
I've
off.
gotten stressed as this character.
Hey, don't you have nerves of steel? Then again, no.
No, I'm just a pilot.
Oh, okay.
All right, so move your stress up by 1. So unless it's 10 or above, okay, it should be at 3 now.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like it did it. So you drop that pistol after you fire the shot off. Tell me how that happens. Why it happens.
So I unjammed the revolver, and I take the shot, and as soon as I do, I'm assuming that the kick is too difficult for me, and I'm in a panicked mode as it is, trying to get this droid down, and I drop it.
All right, so how do you have, so unless it's 10 or above, your action still goes through. So you got 2 stunts to spend. How do you want to spend those?
I'd say just punch it all into damage.
All right, so, and considering that you were shooting this thing right in the core, I'm not going to roll for the critical hit to it. So tell me what happens to this thing as you drop right before you drop your pistol.
So after I get the jam undone, I just quickly pull up, fire off the shot, and then the kick is too difficult, so I must not have unjammed something, and then I drop the weapon, and just the synth's head just pops like a balloon and looks like Ash from the first Aliens movie, and it's just gurgling and all that blue stuff. And
special milk.
Yeah, that's special milk.
And so it drops to the ground, sinks down, and kind of falls over, and Bishop kind of looks down at it, and it kind of adjusts itself, and then it goes back to work without a second thought.
No comment whatsoever.
None. And so the hold on, let me shift music here really quick.
Nice, Finnigan. Nice.
And so the Aziza, right, is absolutely terrified of what's happening, and it is just kind of backed up against the wall, and you see the other members from Adam Squadron come in here with their guns raised and everything, and they're like, what the hell happened?
Synth went crazy, and I'm at this point, I'm just sitting there with my hands on my knees, and and I'm just like shaking a little bit, and I said the Working Joe went crazy. It went haywire.
But it's all good. 13 SCU in the house. What?
And so the Adam Squadron just kind of look over at Zapp like, And so Bishop kind of does his thing, and he's got a kid out and he's doing his stuff, and he looks over to you and he's like PFC, this will take me approximately an hour. Do we have that kind of time?
Adam Squad, can you guys set up a perimeter around the area and give us enough time to help the mayor out?
And the little kid's like, yeah, of course. And the woman there just kind of cuffs him in the back of the head, and it's like, and she looks to Finnigan and she nods and she says, "We got you. We'll go set up a perimeter." My best guess though is if somebody was listening to you and what you said over the line, we're going to see some people inbound from the nest.
Wait, what do you mean? All I mentioned was I threw a lie to Bishop to get him here about our squad.
Yeah, we heard it. We heard it, so if we heard it, you know who else probably heard it, right? And so if they think that somebody's down, we've already told you that the company does not care about these people. They're going to look for any chance to come here and kill as many of them as they can.
Okay, so we got options. First of all, Adam Squad. When it comes down to it, whose side are you on?
We're on this. So Thompson's like standing there with his pistol in his hand, like trying to be as badass as he can, because this character's supposed to be like Anthony, right? So he's just trying to look badass and he just can't do it, right? And he's like, we're with you all the way. And so that woman just cuffs him against the back of the head again, right? And so Riffin, the one that's taken charge since Brookson was injured, just looks to you and says,
"We're on the side of humanity."
Whoa, deep. Then let's prepare for company. Give the Sarge the heads up. We might have incoming.
I brush off.
Do we want to try to make a run for it, or they just? Does that help? Does that not help?
If you wanted to what? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Make a run for it. If we wanted to take the mayor, stuff her in the APC, and scramble.
Well, Bishop needs an hour working with this woman to kind of try and figure out.
He did say that. He did say that. What do you think? What's the ETA?
And so the woman says she puts her hands to her earphone or headphones for a second, and she's like, she shakes her head. And
she's like, "Yeah, sure as shit. They heard you. There's 2 drones inbound."
Drones.
So get somebody out there to just see them coming in. Then hopefully they won't start shooting.
So if wait, are you telling me if they see us, their orders are not to fire?
It's the company. These are going to be farm guard. They're going to follow the rules as much as they can. But if they see a threat against you, they're going to start firing on the people.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take to the street, Finnigan. What do you say?
Well, I think first we need to make sure this perimeter's set. Get Davis to a high point, and possibly I think somebody needs to be on the inside with her and Bishop to protect her at all costs.
I hate to split up. Reach out to the sergeant. Well, where's Seb? Do we know where he's at?
Where who is? Davis?
Seb.
Oh,
Yeah,
Davis.
sorry.
Davis is somebody somewhere out there. You could probably get him on radio.
Yeah. Come up.
Yeah, what do you want?
Hey, we've got incoming 2 drones. They're going to take this as an they seem to think that we're hot. They're going to take that as an excuse to open fire on the crowd, on the townspeople. We need someone to intercept, try to placate them, and if not, to take them out.
All right? I'll keep an eye out for drones, and I'll keep a bead on them.
Yeah, I mean, if we're wrapping it up, I'm going to hit the street. I'm going to go to the APC and grab my RPG.
Okay. So let's tie a little bit of a bow onto this line here. So, Bishop takes his hour. Go ahead. Sorry, Finnigan.
One thing I wanted to say was before the lady and Thomas went out of the room, I would stand up and I would look at her and I'd be like, "You say that you're on the side of humanity, but are you willing to take humanity at its best and its worst? Because that's what we're going to see today."
Oh, damn!
If I wasn't ready to see the worst in humanity and still have hope, I would have joined the farm guard by now. I'm with these people every single day. You just got here. Don't ever question me like that again.
Booyah!
Dude, I feel like Zapp and Forloth by proxy is the dude that stands in the back, right? And two people are going at it, and he's like, "Oh no, you did it! Ooh, right?" Like that's Zapp.
There's always one.
So she gives you an ETA, and Bishop looks to you and says, "PFC Finnigan."
Yeah, Bishop. What's up?
I'm going to need some time for this, but initial analysis shows that there is indeed some type of protein poison in this woman, likely of local make. It's very surprising. It's surprising that the I almost called him Apollo unit for some reason. The Working Joe unit did not spot this during his checks.
Could be that somebody possibly programmed him to not spot it, or it could be that the Working Joe itself was the one that administered the protein poison.
I think that we both know the history of the Working Joe, and that there have been issues where these Seeks and androids have attacked individuals. But that does not seem to be the type of thing that a Seeks and robot would do. Normally, whenever they do malfunction, they end up attacking physically, not through means such as poisons. So this leads me to question whether, first, if the Seeks and robot was at its full functioning. They have been here for a period of time, so there could have been a loss of knowledge in this this creation, or if this was programmed to ignore such things.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
I'm trying to isolate the protein type, but I will tell you, PFC, things do not look good from our end. In order for this woman to survive, it's very likely that she will need to be transported to the nest and receive hospital care there. I do not know if I have the materials to take care of this woman.
Boy, that raises a whole other host of questions.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's where we're going to start closing things for today. But as always, at the end, I like to take a stop and just ask how what's going through the individual PC's minds as things go along. And so I think we'll start with PFC Zapp. What's going through PFC Zapp's minds right now? Mind, not minds. Mind.
We're in over our heads, but that's nothing new. At least we got something right here, right now to grab onto, which is keep this mare alive through any means possible. And just wait and see what happens next.
PFC Finnigan. What's going through PFC Finnigan's mind right now?
A lot of things. I think Finnigan is just I think Finnigan is trying to hold on to the ideal core that he had in Nolosha, that if you show the people one like goodwill and do something good for them, then you might be able to win them over to what you're trying to do, and that is that you're actually trying to help them instead of trying to come in and just cause all this chaos and mayhem. So I think that's why he's really inclined on trying to get this mayor healed, because he does care, and he wants to he wants the right people in power, and he wants to make sure that, you know, everything will be set up well after we're gone, but he has to do things step by step, and he's just trying to figure out what that next step is. Like, he's playing chess he's playing 5 different chess boards between like 5 invisible warlords, or 4 invisible warlords, or whatever. Three that are here in, you know, Zapp, Nolosha, and Fakir, and then whoever's controlling everything at the nest. And he does feel like he's over his head, but he believes, like this woman, he believes in humanity. He just said that to her to find out, to kind of prod at her and see if she was going to be on the side of good humanity or evil humanity. And because he doesn't trust anybody's intentions, no matter who they are at this point. Heck, I don't even think he trusts some of his own squad.
Yeah, I mean, Zapp's like...
What?
Just look at his face. And so...
Hey, come on. Parting words. With the right amount of force, a foot will fit in any ass.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so, we will be taking our leave now. We're going to do a raid real quick, but before that, this week we have our Conan the Pirate game, actually, on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have, I believe, we should have Curse of Strahd this Friday, hopefully, depending on whether or not the Zebra is able to gather everyone up. And I believe that takes place at 6:30 or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. Saturday, we should have a Call of Cthulhu game, depending if Severian is recovered by then, at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Sunday, if I remember correctly, there's a Mork board game. That's going to be the day that I'm doing my first full triathlon, so I won't be there. There should be a Mork board game going on October 10th at 12 p.m. So basically in place of what we're doing here. So until next time, while Zapp goes through a book looking for something or other.
Sorry.
We will thank you to the audience. Thank you for Takeda for saving Bishop's life today. So unfortunately, you didn't get to use the explosives that Anthony dropped you, but maybe next time. We will pick this game back up on October 17th with hopefully the entire squad of Marines then. So until next time, hang around with us for a moment. We're going to do a raid, and Semper Fi.